Hey, good afternoon. It is November 8th, 2022. Going to be taking out this 1977 Mercedes-Benz 6.9 out for a quick test drive. I just got this car back yesterday from a friend of mine, Rich Dickey from Middletown. Phenomenal mechanic. He just went through the entire car mechanically. We had some suspension issues with this car, and I basically dropped the car off with him about 6 months ago. He had a number of small issues with the car that we wanted sorted out before we put it up for sale. The suspension had some leaks, and the rear end was just sitting way too low. I didn't have a proper stance, and my friend Rich never worked on a 6.9 before. However, he's a very, very skilled mechanic. He'll work on anything from an Audi to a Ferrari, Chevy, Ford, muscle cars, hot rods. He could pretty much work on any make and model. So I gave him a pretty challenging car to work on, the 6.9, and he spent hundreds of hours on the suspension, getting it all sorted out properly. Had to do a lot of research, and he's got this car really dialed in. The suspension on this car is phenomenal now. We also had an issue with the AC system. Had a lot of leaks. We had to put in a lot of new piping. We had to pull the expansion valve, new receiver dryer, new compressor, and he's got that all dialed in now. The AC in this car is ice cold. Blows at 46 degrees through the center vents. So mechanically, this car is now, I can say 100%. The car is an absolute monster. Just had an alignment done over at Firestone in Eatontown. So car is very, very well sorted now mechanically. It's ready to go to market. This car originally came out of Florida. A couple of friends of mine purchased this car and did a really nice refurbishment of the car, including a full repaint, new interior. All the wood on the inside was restored by that gentleman out in California, restored in the USA. Tremendous amount of work went into getting this car back to its present state. The car really shows nicely cosmetically, mechanically. It's the best driving 6.9 that I've ever sat in. Suspension is fantastic. You'll see in a moment how the car accelerates. I mean, this thing is a freight train. I mean, it really pulls. I mean, for such a heavy car, this thing really moves. This is an Autobahn cruiser. This is the Banker's Hot Rod, and this is a very, very well sorted example of the Banker's Hot Rod. Of course, we're stuck at a light here, but once I get the green, I'll open her up a little bit for you, show you how this car accelerates on the highway. So the car is a 77 6.9 Astral Silver Metallic over navy blue leather. Very, very nice car. It's I wouldn't call it a full restoration. It has been restored, but luckily The car was a rust-free car to begin with. You'll see in the undercarriage photos that the undercarriage of the car is exceptionally clean and solid. In fact, the undercarriage of this car was dry ice clean. I believe it was done by, if I'm not mistaken, it's those guys out in Westchester, Pennsylvania. They did a really nice job dry ice cleaning the undercarriage. So, as you can see, the acceleration for such a big car is really fantastic. Just gotta watch this guy. I think he's getting over. Transmission shifts nice and smooth. Suspension, I mean, literally just floats. I mean, it's really, really solid. You don't feel anything. It's just a fantastic suspension. The suspension feels fantastic at highway speeds. See how it accelerates. I mean, at 70 miles an hour, I mean, it's nothing. I got so much gas pedal left. Drives really nice and level. That was the major issue that we had with this car, was the suspension wasn't leveling out correctly, and it needed some fine tuning. There were some leaks in the suspension that were causing it to not sit perfectly flush, and now the car is really dialed in nicely. Get her back out on the highway. What a solid car. I mean, cars are so well made. You know, a real tank. Super smooth. Just had the alignment done. You can see the car tracks down the road nicely. The car's got fairly newer tires on all four corners. Also has the 15-inch wheels. I believe they are the wheels that are made by MC Carbon out in California. They make a bun-style wheel that has a polished lip. It's very attractive. We also have the 14-inch original bunt alloys that came on the car, and they've been refinished. Somebody wanted to put the car back to the stock look. I personally really like the look of the 15-inch wheel on this 6.9. So this 6.9 will be coming up for auction very soon. We were originally planning on listing this car in April. That's when we discovered that there was a few nagging minor issues with the car. Number one being the suspension was just not dialed in correctly, and the AC had totally stopped working. I mean, it was blowing and the compressor was on, but we weren't getting cold air. And my friend Rich got it all sorted out. Spent a lot of time getting this car in its present condition. Very, very, very nice driver. Car is turnkey, ready to be enjoyed. It's not a one of these cars where you promised a bill of goods and you get the car and you got to take it somewhere and drop $5,000 in it right after you purchase it. This car very well sorted. And I'll probably see if I can maybe get another drive video in early in the morning so I can really show you how it performs on the highway. It's a monster. It's a great car. And it will be coming up for auction on Bring a Trailer very soon. Like I said, this car was slated to go to auction on Bring a Trailer. It was approved, the ad was approved and everything back in April. And we went as far as to approve the ad and everything. And then, you know, we had a few issues with the car when we were driving it, and we noticed that, you know, the suspension was just starting to act a little funny, and we held back on listing the car and getting all those issues sorted out. During the week of the auction, prospective bidders, in fact, if you see this YouTube video and the car is not up for auction, you're still more than welcome to come out and see the car, take it for a short test drive if it's a nice day like today. And that's my video for today. It's November 8th, 2022 for this really cool 1977 Mercedes-Benz 6.9. Truly the banker's hot rod. So I just want to wish everyone the best of luck.